Hello everyone, my name is Buki Akimbile and you are welcome into another tutorial. And in today's tutorial, we'll be making a beautiful gathered gown with elastic waistband. Our gown will be divided into two, the upper part and the lower part. So the total length of the gown we are making is 62 inches. So for the upper part, I'll be cutting 19 inches, while the lower part will be 43 inches. So by the time we add the two together, we'll be having 62 inches in total. So this is the fabric. The direction of the palm tree is facing the side and I want it to face upright so that all our palm tree will be facing the same direction. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll fold the fabric into two. Then the palm tree will be facing the upper direction. But by the time we turn it to the other side, the palm tree will be facing downward. So this is what I'm going to do. After splitting the fabric into two, then I will now turn it around so that the two sides can be facing the upper part. So this is the fabric. I've cut out both the front and the back. I am supposed to multiply my waist measurement by 2.5, but because the fabric I'm working with is not enough, so I multiply my waist measurement by 2. So now we'll be cutting the upper part of our gown. I've already folded the fabric into 4. So and the total length I'll be working with is 19 inches. Then I added 1 inch to it for the starting line. So once I'm done marking it, then I'll be cutting it out. Kindly note, for the lower part of our gown, the more the fabric, the fuller the gathers. So if you have more fabric, you can multiply your waist measurement by 2 or by 3. So I'm cutting out the upper part now. So I'll be separating it. So we have it in 4 fold. You can see I fold it into 2, then fold it over again because we'll be drafting both the front and the back together. So the total amount of fabric in fold was 15 inches. My cutter of my bust measurement, then I'll be adding 2 inches each to it, then plus 1 inch sewing allowance. My shoulder line is 8.5 inches, so I'll mark it out. Then from that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for the front shoulder slope. Then I'll come down by 0.5 inch for the back. The neck width I'm working with is 3.5 inches. I'll mark it out. So from that point, I'll be connecting my front and the back shoulder slope. So I'm connecting the back shoulder slope now. Then I'll go ahead and connect the front shoulder slope as well. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to input the neck depth. So the back neck depth we are working with is 1.5 inch. Then for the front neck depth, I'll be working with 6 inches. So I'll mark it out. Then I'll go ahead and connect the two. So we are connecting the back neck depth now to meet with the 3.5 inches neck width. Then I'll be connecting the front as well. It's going to be a slight V shape. So that is why I turn the curve ruler that way. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to input my chest measurement. And my chest measurement is 9 inches. It's actually 8.5, but because we are making a free top, so I added 0.5 inch each to it. So I'll mark it out. And once I'm done marking, I will input my shoulder line measurement on the chest line, which is 8.5 inches. Then I'll be connecting from the shoulder line to the chest line. So once I'm done connecting, I'll measure what I'm having from my front shoulder slope to the chest line, then locate the midpoint. From the midpoint, I'll go in by 0.5 inch. Then I'll be connecting my front armhole. So from the front shoulder slope, I'll connect to meet the midpoint. Then from the midpoint, I will use my armhole curve to connect to the chest line. You can see the way I'm connecting it. Then for the back armhole, I'll be placing my armhole curve directly on the midpoint. Then I'll connect to the chest line. So once I'm done marking, we are done creating both the front and the back armhole. So the next thing we do is to input our horizontal measurement. Quarter of my bust is 11.5, then plus 2 inches is making 13.5. Then I'll be using 1 inch for the sewing allowance. So whatever measurement I'm having at the top, I will take it to the waistline. Since it's a free top and we are still going to gather it on the waistline. So once I'm done marking it, then I'll be connecting my chest line to meet with the waistline. And the remaining 1 inch is going to represent the 1 inch sewing allowance on the side. So I'll go ahead and add ½ inch sewing allowance to the shoulder area. So from the neck width, I'll go up by ½ inch. Then I'll be connecting to the shoulder slope. So we have our sewing allowance for the back shoulder line. So we can go ahead and start cutting now. So we can separate the back from the front now. Then once we are done separating, we'll be cutting out the front neckline. Then I'll come to the shoulder area, come down by 0.5 inch so that I'll be able to cut out the front shoulder slope. So once I'm done marking, I'll be cutting it out now. Then I'll go ahead and trim in the front armhole. So once I'm done trimming, our front is ready as well. So this is the front. You can see the tree is facing the upper direction, and this is the back fabric. The palm tree is facing the upper direction on both. So the next thing we do now is to go ahead and measure what we have on the waist area. That is what is going to determine the amount of gathers we'll be having on the lower part of our gown. So I'll bring in the lower part now, then I'll take it to the sewing machine and gather it to be equal to the waistline of our gown. So I'll set it aside so that we can proceed with the upper part of our gown. So I've turned the fabric right side facing each other. So we'll be stitching by 1/2 inch on the shoulder line. Then once I'm done stitching, I'll be turning the neckline with bias. I have a tutorial on how to turn the neckline on the channel, so I'll be attaching the link in the description box below. So we've already turned the neckline with bias and I've opened up the seam allowance on the shoulder. So the next thing we do now is to bring in the lower part of our gown. I've already gathered it to be equal to the waistline measurement. So I've turned the upper part of our gown to the right side. Then I'll be placing the lower part on it, matching all the edges. You can see the way I'm matching them. Because I gathered them to be equal, so the two are going to be matching. So once I'm done matching on both sides, you can see the other edge, it matches as well. So I'll go ahead and stitch in by 1/2 inch on the waist area. So I'll repeat the same thing also on the back fabric. So once I'm done stitching, I'll be showing us. So I've already joined both the upper part and the lower part together. So the next thing we do now is to match. You can see the waist area, they match because we took the same amount of fabric on both sides. So we need to take note of this as well. So I'll be matching it downward. So once I'm done matching, I'll be stitching down by the 1 inch sewing allowance we added to the side. So I've already joined the fabric on both sides, so they've become one piece. So I'll open it up and passes our bias across. So this is the bias we are working with. It's not a normal bias. I actually use this bias maker to create this. It's a little bigger than 0.5. So just make yours and ensure it covers your sewing allowance. So from the side, I will go in by 4 inches. So that is the point where I will start stitching my bias down. So I'll place my bias on the sewing allowance so that I can cover it. Then I'll pin it down. Then I'll go to the 4 inches point that I mark out initially. Then I'll pin that point down because that is where our stitching is starting from. So once I'm done pinning, then I'll cover the sewing allowance all through to the other end. Then on the other end as well, I'll be going in by 4 inches just as we did previously. So that is the point where the stitching will stop. So once I'm done stitching, I'll be showing us. You can see. So I left 4 inches on this side. Then I also left 4 inches on the other side. You can see. So I'll be turning the fabric around now so that we can sew in the side seam. So we'll be matching the side seam on both sides. Then you push the bias away from the side seam. Then we match the side seam. So we'll be stitching it down. I'm trying to clip it. You can see the way I push the bias away. So I will stitch the side down now by 1 inch. Then once I'm done stitching, you can see then I've pressed it open. So we'll now pick our bias from both sides, matching them together, noting the points where they meet. Then I'll use my chalk to mark out that point. Then I'll take it to the sewing machine and stitch down. Then cut off the excess. So I'm done stitching down. You can see the side. Then I left an inch opening, and that is the point where I'll be passing my elastic through. So I'll be passing the elastic from that point all through to the other end, and once I'm done passing it, then I'll be tacking it down. So I'm done passing the elastic on both sides now. So you can either tie the knot or you tack it down, but I prefer to tie the knot, so I'll be tying mine. Then you cover the stitch. So this is the sleeve we are working with. It is the normal basic sleeve, but because we'll be having flare at the lower part and I'm not having enough fabric, so that was the reason I splitted it into two. So I'll be placing it on the fabric, then I'll be cutting the upper part first, then later cut the lower part. So I've already placed it on the fabric now. So once I'm done cutting, I'll set it aside, then I'll be cutting the lower part. At that other end, it was supposed to be folded, but because the fabric is not enough, so I'll be adding 0.5 inch sewing allowance to join it together once I'm done cutting. Then I'll cut out the remaining parts. So once I'm done cutting, I'll go ahead and join the sleeve. So I'll be doing that off camera. So I've joined the two sleeves, both the right and the left side. So I'll bring in the main fabric now so that I can attach the sleeve to it. So I'll be attaching both sleeves as well. And once I'm done attaching, I'll go ahead and sew in the raw edges of our gown. Then I'll be showing us the final look. So I'm done joining the sleeve and I've already given the fabric a good press. You can see how it's turned out. So neatly finished, then I pressed it open at the center. You can see. So the tree also is following the same direction so that they can all align. So anytime you are working with a pattern fabric, always ensure the pattern matches. And this is the hem also. I've sewn it down. So I'll be showing us the final look on the mannequin now. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video.